So, in 2005, one of the greatest science fiction television shows returns. One of the greatest of all time. It's a show that I grew up on, and I know a lot of you did too. It is, of course, Doctor Who. Doctor Who Series 1. The concept of Doctor Who, when it returned, is that the Doctor, the Time Lord, returns to Earth and television with a far more serious tone and a much sadder backstory, but with the same old blue box. Your main character is, of course, the Doctor, this time the Ninth Doctor, played by Christopher Eccleston. He is a doctor with a much harder edge to his personality than we've ever seen before. And he is also um, a little bit more arrogant and much meaner than we've seen in the past. We eventually learn the source of his pain, but I'm not going to tell you that because spoilers. Um, while the Doctor has always had an arrogant streak, Eccleston was occasionally a little mean with it and almost, how would I say, a little bigoted towards humans. But like any good doctor, he always tried to do more good than harm. And as far as acting goes, Eccleston was fiery, and when he needed to be compassionate, he was quite compassionate, and he was, in a word, fantastic. Um, your companion was, of course, Rose Tyler. She was a 19-year-old shop girl who got mixed up with the doctor and actually proves useful to him, including occasionally saving his life or being the one to figure out what's going on. Now, Rose is played by a former British pop star named Billie Piper, but her acting is actually so good that if you're not British and don't know the British pop stars, you never would have guessed that was her origin. Um, for a standout episode, for me personally, I go with the two-parter, The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances. This is when the Doctor faces one of the scariest villains he's ever faced, and it is also the first appearance of Captain Jack Harkness. In other words, the hero from the TV show Torchwood. Um, for a story arc, there's not much of a story arc in this particular season, but we are introduced to two very important words: Bad Wolf. The upside of this is we have a triumphant return of one of sci-fi's greatest heroes. It's a fun show that doesn't have too much bleakness to it, and a hero who uses wits rather than bullets to solve his problems. We also finally in Doctor Who have a female companion whose first instinct is to help and not just scream and run away. The joke is that her boyfriend is the useless one who screams and runs away. The downside of the film is that her boyfriend is a useless idiot who just screams and runs away. I get the joke, but it's actually kind of hard to watch a character on screen be that fucking useless. I can't stand that shit. Um, the other downside is that Rose is actually fairly cruel to Mickey. You know, she strings him along when she's clearly transferred all of her affection to the doctor. She strings him along without actually breaking up with him, which is just mean. You don't do that shit to people. And so that's the downside to me. For series one of Doctor Who, my score is 4 stars. So the question is, classic science fiction television. What's your favorite show from the past? What show did you grow up on that you would most like to see return? Even if it's already returned, which one would you just like another crack at as a fan?